Welcome to the MetaGame with Oni Black Mage, and we're returning with Dragon Age Origins Part 2. In this, we're going to just cover pretty much some tricks and some recommendations, notably free specialization trick, infinite XP, duplication trick, and infinite money. But first, I want to say that this is just my personal recommendation after going through the game a couple times and finding the most efficient and manageable way to go through it. You go however you want. I'm not telling you how, but to be honest, it's just a little bit of post-site insight. First, what you want to do right after Lothering, before doing any of the main quests, is go to Brazilian Forest. Over there, you notice that the elven vendor himself has infinite elf fruit. This is fantastically useful because there are many quests in which you can't return back to town or get any sort of healing potions whatsoever. And unless you have a devoted healer, having infinite potions is a fantastic thing. To get the bottles, simply go to any bartender and they sell infinite flasks. So get your mage turning, and this is a very inexpensive and very manageable way to make sure your party pretty much never falls. After that, I highly recommend going to Orzhov, because not only do you want to go there, quickly pick a side, and maybe pick up Ogren, your berserker, but I would heavily recommend doing the quest Key to the City, because this is a fantastic free item that not only improves all attributes, but gives plenty of other strong benefits, and you can get it for free at the beginning of the game, simply by walking around and examining a couple objects that are sitting on the ground, and then going back to the assembly chamber and picking it up. Fantastically useful. Next, I visit Venerim to pick up the Archivist Belt, because with this, you not only get extra XP from all the tomes, but there are tons of tomes in the game, and increasing that amount by 50% is quite a valuable boost to get right off the bat. The only detriment is that only your main character can wear it, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because there really aren't that many great belts in the game. So, after you do that, I heavily recommend, if you have it, do both the downloadable content locales. So at this time, it's just Soldier's Peak and Stone Warrior. Return to Oscar hasn't come out yet. Both these DLC locations, the first Stone Warrior gets fantastic high-tier items, including the Star Metal weapon, which is the strongest sword or great sword in the game, the Winter's Breath Staff, which is not to be confused with the other Winter's Breath Staff, free abilities against blood magic, you get tons of gold in a very short amount of time, you get Shale, which is a fantastic tank if you want to use him. Soldier's Peak is excellent because not only do you have the party inventory chest, which is a great way to store a lot of excess items without having to sell it to a vendor and hoping that he holds on to it. So if you have these expansions, use them. They are quite good, they're quite short, and I suggest starting these before doing anything else. Now, after this, the first main place I recommend going is actually the Mage Tower. Because you see, in the Mage Tower, not only is this the shortest and arguably the easiest of the main quests, but it has a unique distinction of giving you free attribute points, at least 2 to every single one of your attributes, as well as picking up the Cleric Win and getting infinite lyrium if you so use it. To be honest, lyrium isn't that important, and if you find any potions, you're probably better off selling it for free money, because odds are you're probably not going to run out of it as a mage. Maybe as a mage knight, but your party members aren't going to really need them. They have plenty of willpower. My only advice is, in Mage Tower, there are tons of demons, a lot of mages, so make sure to get plenty of healing up. Like I said, get tons of the elf fruit and craft potions from the forest. And there's lots of fire, so make sure you have maybe elixirs of fire resistance and maybe a little bit of fire resistance armors or accessories, because there's going to be a lot of that here. What I then recommend is, as you go through, be very, very thorough in your search. A lot of the places that you do to get a lot of the free pick-me-ups, as far as free attribute points, are hidden away in once you enter the Fade. So make sure to be very thorough, make sure to go back once you have all 4 of your forms, and collect all the free attribute points. This helps you qualify for a lot of the ultimate armor and full-tier armor sets that you're going to be getting early on in the game. For example, you want to wear that nice, Star Metal sword as fast as possible, so getting these free attribute points will really help you with that. I find that getting it earlier rather than later is simply more beneficial. But like I said, it's your choice, and to make sure, just to let you know, you can't leave the Mage Tower once you begin. So make sure you did stock up on however much elf fruit you want. I recommend at least 100 to 200, whatever. They're really easy. For a golden change, you get them. I would suggest then going back to Brazilian Forest, because not only is this one a pretty straightforward quest, but you get the full Juggernaut armor set, you get the Arcane Warrior unlocked for free, and you get a Dragon's Horde. A lot of money. One thing to keep in mind is that there are a lot of beasts on this quest, so prepare accordingly. After that, you can do Redcliffe or Orzhov, it really doesn't matter. It just depends on what you want to get out of each one. With Redcliffe, you can unlock the Champion, the Reaver, the Blood Mage. You have an infinite money from the Redcliffe bar that I'm about to show you. More importantly, what you do is make sure when you're doing the defending of the forest that you go about and raise the morale of everybody. Make sure you recruit as many people from the town as possible to fight. Don't forget that in the general store there's a barrel full of oil that you can set for fire traps early on in the game to help the wave of enemies a lot more manageable. And don't forget that at the very end there's the High Dragon, which until the end boss is pretty much the strongest dragon in the game, or the strongest monster in the game, period. So prepare accordingly, and remember, once you start, you're pretty much in for the long haul. Next is Orzhov. This one is the longest out of all the main quests, but it's nice because it allows you to take breaks and return to the overworld. I recommend doing this one last, mostly because, especially if you're a rogue, the Rose's Thorn Dagger is the strongest dagger in the game, as well as giving you fantastic backstab and critical hit damage bonuses. But however, it's really expensive, so you're probably going to want to get that late in the game when you can actually afford it, provided of course you didn't use the infinite money trick. But like to tons of beasts and darkspawn. After that, lands me in the end of the game. But let's talk about a couple tricks. One thing you see right here is I just bought the Templar unlock, and what's nice is that with Specialization, once it unlocks, once you buy the tome, you can actually reload the save before you bought the tome, and you still have a Specialization, and you get to keep your money. This is also great for Blood Mage and Reaver. You can save before making a choice, get them, unlock the specializations, and then reload your save. That way you get your specializations without having to commit to an evil path, assuming you didn't want to choose that way. One of the infinite XP tricks, the most manageable one, is right at the beginning at Ostagar. When Duncan tells you to collect 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, then collect the treaties, well, as soon as you get the 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, return back to him. Talk to him, and he's going to give you a conversation option. You talk to him, and he gives you a little bit of XP, actually, for completing this subquest. What's funny is that you can keep repeating this conversation, he keeps giving you more XP. This actually is an infinite XP trick that so far hasn't been patched, and you can exploit as much as you want. Keep in mind, though, that you will not be able to unlock the level 20 achievements for doing this route, so plan accordingly. Also, because enemies and such scale with you, you may not want to get too strong, so maybe 10 levels is the max if you want to use it. The duplication trick, what you need is at least 2 items of the exact same kind, so that way they stack up and say multiples of the same type. Go to a merchant that you haven't sold any junk to before, and put put all but one of items into the junk pile of yours. That way, when you go to the merchant, you sell your junk. Buy back one of the item, and this is the hard part. What you need to do is press sell all junk and buy almost at the exact same time with sell all junk first. If you do it right and time it right, you'll duplicate the item. Keep in mind this doesn't work with the PS3. Sorry. However, a better way for getting infinite money is over in Redcliffe. With the bartender there, what you can do through a conversation object, again, having a good coercion helps, is convince him to join the front lines. He doesn't like this. In fact, he is going to die, but that's the point. When Lloyd dies, Bella will actually take over. What's nice is that Bella, once she takes over the bar, will actually give you all the items in Lloyd's stock for free. So every time you go there, like a regular store, talk to her, you can grab all the items in the store for free and go downstairs to the blacksmith and sell it for free money. And when she restocks her store, she still gives it to you for free. So it's literally free items you can take. And towards the end game, when you start selling high-end items, this is a great way to get some money, without cheating or glitching or anything like that. So hopefully these tips help you. I hope you enjoyed Dragon Age Origins as much as I have. And thank you for watching the MetaGame. Stay tuned for more episodes.
That's excellent advice for anyone.